fun little Coca-Cola after opening 2 Cokes. I didn't even tell you about my cute little Coca-Cola cup glass. My daughter got that from somewhere. Hey, you guys. This might make for a fun video this evening. A jumbo can of boiled peanuts from Walmart, hot and spicy, and the peanut patch. And they're not too terribly spicy. But this is a first for me ever. The spicy. They had just a plain can of boiled peanuts that I had, I think, months ago. And, I think I don't want to talk about peanuts tonight because there's a lot of peanuts and peanut butter stories in my life that are kind of funny. Here's one: peanut butter and ice cream. And I'll never forget, in the 70s, my mom was pregnant with our little sister, and she wanted to watch her weight, so she was on Weight Watchers for maintenance, so she wouldn't gain too much weight during her pregnancy. And I was on it with her. We're doing it together. So somehow, don't ask me how, when I wanted to cheat on my diet and not let anybody know, I would go to the pantry in the kitchen at night and grab peanut butter by the spoonful and just eat the peanut butter. And then possibly down it with some milk. And this one night, my mom comes in the kitchen as I had just put a huge thing of peanut butter in my mouth. She's getting ready for an event the next day. It was some kind of weekend, some kind of big event, and all the relatives were coming over. The kitchen was kind of organized. We had like tables in there for the event the next day. So she seen me standing in the pantry, and I was just kind of like looking in the pantry with my back to her. She came in, but she didn't know I already had peanut butter. So she comes over by me in the pantry. She said, "Who's eating corn chips?" I said, "I'm not." And she left it at that because I think she was worried I was getting into the chips that were for the next day. But she could smell something that I had been eating, and she was so upset and so frantic that I was in the pantry eating corn chips for the party the next day. So I think of that a lot. It's kind of funny. I was kind of scared at the same time. She caught me cheating on the diet. So again, that was in the 70s. There's nothing like an old-fashioned Coca-Cola. And I also wanted to mention, Jif has been the peanut butter we've been buying lately, the creamy Jif, and it's the only peanut butter I've been able to find in like the little peanut butter cups that you can like toss in a lunch pail, or take anywhere, throw it in your purse anywhere, gym bag. It's really nice because You can have peanut butter and celery. It just seems like it's a nice thing to have peanut butter in those little cups. From Jif. What else? I had written some other peanut things. This is a first. I didn't even know boiled peanuts was a thing until Angry Grandpa. This was his specialty. And all I can say is I don't know how people eat them or I don't know anything about them. Southern California, I don't recall that they were a thing. Perhaps in the Midwest and the Carolinas they are. But I really like these flavored ones. Hot and spicy, but they're not terribly hot. They're just spice flavored. And I feel somewhat clumsy because I don't know exactly how to eat them. I poured the can, pot on the stove, heated them up, drained some of the water, and let them cool down. I kind of think that if I really had the knack of these, I'd be eating them really fast. They make me think of my sunflower seeds. I was a sunflower seed queen back in the day in junior high when I played city softball. Oh my goodness. I was such a tomboy. My uncle taught me how to eat them. Put them in your mouth. You put them to one side of your cheek, and then you eat it. And then you if you're nowhere where you could spit out the seeds, you just pack the seeds on the other side of your mouth. And then when you're somewhere, then you just throw them away. Boy, did that come in handy. And David, sunflower seeds were pretty much the only sunflower seeds I ate. They were the best. And even to this day, so that's my go-to. But back to the peanut story. I do remember, I'm pretty sure, when Nutter Butter peanut butter cookies came out. I'm pretty sure I remember when they first came out. I think it was the 70s. And I'm always saying that because it just seems like very rarely. I think I remember when Famous Amos came out, when that cookie came out, Nutter Butter. But I remember being so addicted to the Nutter Butter peanut butter cookies when they first came out, and thought, how good they are, and how come nobody thought of this before, and how come I didn't think of it. And I used to think, like, who are all these people that think of simple things, and everybody loves them? I have to put on my thinking cap, thinking, what could I think of? But I remember thinking a lot about that when Nutter Butter cookies came out. and thinking how odd that was, because never in my childhood did we ever eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. It was just such not a thing. And I don't remember peanut butter even being a thing in our house. I can't think of any sibling that ate peanut butter or parent. It just kind of got me thinking, like, did I really miss out, finding peanut butter later in life, mixing it with ice cream and loving these peanut butter cookies. And then the other big peanut moment was when I married my husband. And he was crazy over the Lower Scudder peanut butter that had the oil on top. Honestly, I was so nervous about his food. And I'm not that nervous, because obviously he was in good shape, good health. He could keep up with me, and I was 22 years younger. And I had already kind of gotten the bulletin how healthy his family is, and they have good genes. They live forever, and they're all young. Like, none of them look their age. So I wasn't too worried. It seemed like he went through bacon like really fast. Like a couple pounds of bacon in a week, or maybe a pound of bacon himself. I didn't eat bacon. And so bacon bothered me a little bit. And when he showed me this peanut butter with oil, and he mixed it up, I said, wait, are you sure you're supposed to mix it up? I think you're supposed to dump it out. And he kind of chuckled. He said, no. You mix it in fresh. I think they're giving you the option that if you want all this fat in your peanut butter, or if not, you can pour it out. And so for years, I watched him do that, and was never crazy about it. I thought, what's the big deal about this? Once you mix it and you do all this work and get it to where you think you want it, it doesn't taste near as good as like old-fashioned peanut butter, Skippy or whatever. And but he thought it was really something, so he was sold on that. And I was just shocked and surprised how peanut butter was such a big deal in his life, because again, it wasn't in ours. He would eat peanut butter and cracker for a snack every day. It was Ritz crackers or saltine crackers, 5, and a huge glass of milk. He would never drink non-fat. He'd drink regular 2% or regular, and 5. And he put a huge glob of peanut butter on each cracker and a huge glob of Miracle Whip. Couldn't believe it. Didn't sound good to me at all. But he loved peanut butter. That was every day. That was his snack. And so then he'd also make a peanut butter sandwich that was the same thing. Toast, peanut butter, lettuce, and Miracle Whip. A ton of lettuce, and make a sandwich out of it. And I said, what? He was from Indiana. So I just chalked it up as a Indiana thing. I said, why do you put lettuce with your peanut butter? So, then, what else? Peanut butter. I made my little notes here. Oh, the King of Queens. I told you this. This is kind of funny. For all us King of Queens enthusiasts, you know, Spence, a friend of the family, or Doug's cousin or something. It might be his cousin, but Spence was kind of a fun character. And that's one day he was babysitting for Deacon and Kelly's kids, and he has a peanut allergy. And two boys, you know, young boys, and they're playing, they're having a wonderful time, and one of the kids has a thing of peanuts, or I don't know how it comes. And Spence gets real serious. He says, oh, no. I think he had peanuts, and he offered him a peanut. And Spence kind of freaked. And he said, oh, no, I have a peanut allergy. I can't eat peanuts. I could go to the hospital and die. You know, something drastic like that. And the kids thought, here was Spence, who could do everything. He was the best babysitter. Now, all of a sudden, they see him freaking out for a little peanut. It was pretty funny, too, the way the way they wrote out that scene in the show is pretty funny. And so these little kids are like taking this little peanut close to him, and he's freaking out. So, though I was laughing, I was really taking a lot of time after then, like really feeling bad for any person, especially a kid that had a peanut allergy, or a parent, because then I started realizing how serious it was, and thought, you know, how can that be? How can a peanut be such a serious allergy like that you can really die? And so that's when I just really started remembering to count my blessings and to not laugh. Even though things are silly to me, because I still have like a juvenile sense of humor about things. I know how some real families, how that has to be an upset in a family. Or if I was a mom and my kid had a peanut allergy, I'd be freaking out, because there'd be life would be going on with them, and strangers or other people wouldn't know that he has a peanut allergy. But then I heard from this person who worked with the school district and grammar school, there's a rule: no peanuts on campus. A list of stuff: no peanut butter, no peanut butter bars, no peanut candy bars. And that was the grammar school. I thought, oh my goodness, I'm sure I'd get in trouble, because I'm sure I'd have a chocolate bar, or my favorite, Mr. Good. There's one of them with a ton of peanuts. Good something. I'd get in trouble if they ever did like a peanut check. You know how they go through your lockers, or they go through your stuff for drugs. If they went through looking for peanut, I know I would get in trouble, because I wouldn't be thinking clearly. Be thinking it's just chocolate and peanuts. And what is that? Candy bar with a ton of nuts in it. Good something. Mr. Good Bar? So, that was, gosh, it had to have been in the 90s, right? Wasn't the King of Queens from the 90s? But I still watch a lot of reruns or little clips. Like when I'm done here, I'll probably go Google, look on YouTube for the scene, the peanut allergy scene. And if I can, I'll post a link. If you haven't seen it. So back to the boiled peanut. If they sold them here like at swap meets or flea markets, I would probably maybe try them. But like I said, they just are too slow and clumsy for me. Like I don't have a knack of how to eat them and enjoy them unless I would eat them dried without like a wet juice around them. And then just pop it in my mouth and the other thing, like I'm thinking about it now, like can you, like your whole life, not have a peanut problem? And then, all of a sudden in your senior years, end up with a peanut allergy. So then what? Can that happen? Because I'm feeling itchy and scratchy now. I wonder, is that because of the peanut overdose or the ingredients in the hot and spicy? So, now we know. I guess I did pretty well. I don't know. I'm thinking of the other day I got like a little jar of Plantars peanuts to eat with my Boston baked beans, and I totally forgot we have one of those jumbo glass peanut Plantars peanuts jars. In fact, maybe I'll try to find a picture and insert it right here. It was a Plantars glass peanut butter jar, so I'll try to insert it right here, right now. And we have one of those from my husband's dad, and it's a fun thing, real heavy. I'm sure it's real glass. And so I'm going to also put a link to Spence and his peanut scene. What else was I going to tell you about that? Plantars. Oh, the story of my daughter number 2. This is kind of cute. You know, my husband, I didn't really pay attention. There's just mannerisms that males have, females have, or they could be intertwined or intermixed, doesn't matter. But I noticed between my husband and I, he has real male mannerisms, and one of them was he eats his peanuts, and you know, he'll either grab it out of the jar or pour some in his hand, but he shakes it like this and tosses them in his mouth and shakes. And I just enjoyed watching him with his peanuts because I was just so different. You know, I'm trying to think, how would I eat my peanuts now? You know, if I had my peanut jar, and I think I just like grab it and just like put it all in my mouth, I think. Look, 2 cans of Coke in one video. Terrible. You know how much sugar that is? That's a ton of sugar. Anyways. So, you know, life goes on, and we're on vacation. I think we were somewhere in Colorado area. We were on this trail, and we happened to be near the bottom, at the head of the trailhead, waiting for the next trail guide to come and start the next outing. And always a fun food, camping, and all that stuff outdoors is peanuts. And we had the best Plantars peanut little snack bags. Costco, you could go in the snack section and buy the best snacks. Cookies, cakes, crackers, and peanuts. We got Plantars peanuts in the bag. Perfect snack. I'll never forget. My husband and my daughter are sitting, daughter number 2, they're sitting on this little block wall, you know, made for sitting. And it's on a video or a picture somewhere. She's sitting next to him, and my husband's looking at a map and eating his peanuts, you know, shaking his hand. And my daughter's doing the same thing, and she's not trying to imitate him at all. Because they're kind of, even though they're sitting next to each other, they're kind of at an angle, back to back. Because my husband had a map he was working on. I think he had a cup of soda or something there. Same thing with my daughter. I had her little backpack. And she's doing the same thing. She had her peanuts shaking. And so somewhere there's a picture or a video. If I ever find that, I'm going to surprise her with it. Oh, that was so cute. And I really think it wasn't up until that time. And she was in grammar school at maybe 4th, 5th grade. And I never really paid attention to the difference between how I ate the peanuts and how Dad ate the peanuts. And I think I said how surprised I was, because she's, out of the 2 daughters, she's less of a tomboy. She's more of the dainty, less tomboy type. And to see her do it, I think I bludgeoned her with questions like, what are you doing? Or why are you eating your peanuts that way? she was completely like lost. Like, what? You know, so and if she would have said, I want to eat them like Dad, or Dad eats them that way or something, she had like no answer. Like, so I was really impressed that, you know, I guess she really is eating her peanuts that way because she sees Dad do it, but doesn't even know it. So I guess that's probably the only other peanut thing is, remember the peanut butter and the ice cream story is, I remember, even to this day, I, every once in a while, try so hard to get a good peanut butter ice cream. I think decades ago when I started this peanut butter and vanilla ice cream thing, couldn't find peanut butter and ice cream. Is there peanut butter and ice cream? Is there a reason like peanut butter and ice cream isn't a thing? Because it won't meld. It won't, peanut butter won't work. You have to do something to the peanut butter. You would just have to, it couldn't be peanut butter, it would have to be peanuts. But I try so hard to get a good peanut butter and ice cream, and I just can't. Never comes out decent. In fact, now as I'm thinking of it in my head, I wonder if I took the peanut butter and mixed it real good with chocolate syrup or chocolate fudge, and then mashed that up together real well, so it would be like half chocolate fudge and half peanut butter, or 3/4 chocolate fudge and 1/4 peanut butter, mash it up, then get the vanilla ice cream and let it melt a little and mash it up really well. I used to want to make like peanut butter bites or bars that I could put it in like a ice cube tray and then just stick a fork in it and have like a bite of peanut butter and ice cream. Anyways, can you tell I'm thinking of peanut butter and ice cream? This is going to be a sugar day. Don't do what I do. Do not open a second can of Coke. I can't even remember when have I ever opened a second can of Coke ever within the same hour. I don't think that has ever happened in my whole life. I just don't do that. These peanuts were so flavorful. With a spice, you usually know there's some kind of salt, a lot of salt with a spice flavor. So I'm grateful for Angry Grandpa and how he used to have a corner at either the flea market or the not the flea market, the swap meets. You know, where you pack up the family and you drive there on weekends. And I guess he rented out like a corner area. And he had like his truck and his peanut pot where he was boiling his peanuts. And then he also had like a little restaurant or like a little sandwich shop kind of restaurant cafe like right across the street. But for those of you who don't know Angry Grandpa, his son, kid behind the camera, tons of grandpas on that channel, but Angry Grandpa died maybe 5 years ago now no, maybe 3-4 years ago. So you have to really search his archives. But he has like a Grandpa's Corner or Grandpa's channel. So there's a few other channels if you're interested. But he's. But when I think back, like on YouTube personalities, Angry Grandpa, out of all the personalities when he first got started, I really felt was more real than really anybody to this day that I've found. I don't think there'll ever be another real person like Angry Grandpa, or maybe I just haven't run across them yet on YouTube. Maybe they're out there and I don't know about them, but I really felt that with Angry Grandpa, you're really getting the real deal. And then as the videos went on, they did more and more pranks, and then he realized that other channels were getting more views because they staged stuff, and then somehow they hooked up with that guy. I can't remember his name. He was the one with the psycho dad, and his stuff was pretty much staged, and I think that's how they kind of came together. What's his name? The guy that did Psycho Dad. And he used to accuse Grandpa if all his stuff was made up, but Grandpa's stuff wasn't made up. But the guy that did Psycho Dad, his was made up, and then they went to a convention together, and then kind of started making videos together. But anyways, thank you, Angry Grandpa. Because of you, I found out about boiled peanuts. And in the other world, this Southern California gal would have never even known that boiled peanuts were a thing. Oh, and look, I didn't even talk about my fun little Coca-Cola after opening 2 Cokes. I didn't even tell you about my cute little Coca-Cola cup glass. My daughter got that from somewhere. Not vintage, but it was just made to look vintage. And look, this was on the sidelines in case I needed this. Remember this? This Coca-Cola cup came from like videos the first month or first few months of when I was making videos in 2015, right? I think. So this has been forever with me.